In the heart of the jungle, a mother jaguar finds a quiet moment to care for her young, hidden by the ferns. She moves with silent grace, carrying her precious cargo through the undergrowth, safe in her powerful jaws. Her eyes are focused, scanning the path ahead. Every step is calculated to protect the life she holds. Resting on the forest floor, she remains vigilant. Even while nursing, her senses are sharp, watching for danger. The jungle is her kingdom, muscles rippling beneath her coat. She prowls silently, a ghost in the shadows. A mossy log becomes a bridge. She pauses, looking intently at something moving in the shadows below. With effortless agility, she climbs. Her claws grip the bark, pulling her up towards a better vantage point. High above the water, she walks the branch. The river below hides secrets, and she is hunting for them. Down on the bank, a caiman rests in the mud, unaware that it is being watched from above. She calculates the distance. Gravity and instinct align as she prepares to launch her attack. Splash! The water explodes as predator meets predator. Chaos erupts on the riverbank. It is a battle of strength. Jaws clamp down, and the water turns into a frenzy of mud and motion. She pins the reptile down. Heavy breaths mix with the sound of struggle in the shallow mud. Victory is hard won. She drags the heavy weight up the slippery bank, defying the mud's grip. Onto dry land. The jaguar's strength is undeniable as she pulls her prize into the cover of the jungle. Elsewhere, innocence thrives. Cubs wrestle and roll, learning the skills they will need to survive. A different shadow moves here. The spectacled bear, a rare sight, walks quietly through the cloud forest. Playful bites and gentle claws. The cubs bond through roughhousing, safe under the canopy. Marking his territory, the bear rubs against the tree, leaving his scent for others to find. He sniffs the air. His markings are unique, like a fingerprint of the Andean forests. Slow motion reveals their grace. Even in play, the cubs show the instincts of future hunters. The chase is on. Running through the undergrowth, they test their speed and agility. The bear moves deeper into the woods, a solitary figure vanishing into the green abyss. Heavy steps in the mud. The rainforest floor is his domain, wet and teeming with life. A hollow log offers a playground. The cubs chase each other around the mossy obstacle. Curiosity leads them inside. The darkness is a hiding spot, but also a trap. The bear smells something. His nose guides him to the rotting wood, searching for a meal. Power unleashed. With massive claws, he rips the log open, exposing the insects within. A feast of grubs. He eats with gusto, satisfying his hunger on the forest's bounty. Inside the log, hearts race. The cubs see the silhouette of the giant sniffing at their door. A tense moment passes. The bear looks in, then turns away, leaving the cubs undiscovered. Back at the river, the ambush strikes. Water flies as the jaguar claims the water's edge. Paths cross. Two titans of the jungle meet on a narrow trail, freezing in assessment. Standing tall, the bear rises to his full height, a wall of fur and intimidation. A skirmish erupts. Paws, swipe, and claws flash in a brief but intense confrontation. The jaguar retreats. Wisdom prevails over pride, and the cat melts back into the leaves. Drag and drop. The predator secures its kill, pulling the caiman into a dark den. Hidden by ferns, She seeks solitude to enjoy the rewards of her hunt. Beneath the surface, a monster moves. The anaconda glides, half in our world, half below. Onto the mud, the massive snake slithers up the bank, a river of muscle and scales. A peccary finds a snack. Unaware of the danger, it chews on fallen fruit. Foraging together, the herd roots in the dirt, finding sustenance in the soil. Peaceful grazing. The sunlight dapples their backs as they enjoy the yellow fruits. Startled, heads lift in unison. The instinct to flee takes over instantly. Stampede. The forest floor shakes as the herd thunders through the underbrush. Running for their lives, the camera chases the panic through the blurring vegetation. The hunter stalks. The anaconda moves through the roots, silent and deadly. Focused intent, the snake freezes, tasting the air for the scent of prey. Strike. Lightning speed feeds screaming panic as the snake bites. The coil begins. Muscle wraps around muscle, dragging the struggle to the ground. Tightening the grip, the raw power of the snake overcomes the peccary's resistance. Silence falls. The predator positions its meal, ready to consume the energy of the forest. High above, a black shadow rests. The panther sleeps, draped over a branch in the canopy. Red faces in the rain. Wakari monkeys huddle together, enduring the tropical downpour. A slip, a fall. Gravity claims a young monkey, plunging it towards the river. Surfacing in panic, the monkey swims for its life, seeking the safety of a root. Beneath the waves, pink grace. The river dolphin navigates the submerged forest. Digging for food, the long snout probes the sand, hunting for hidden fish. Snap, a silver flash disappears. The hunter is successful in the murky depths. A gulp and a turn. Satisfied, the dolphin heads for the light above. Breaking the surface, a breath of air amidst the rain falling on the river. The sky darkens. Storm clouds roll in, promising a deluge over the vast canopy. The heavens open. Heavy rain pummels the trees, creating a mist of impact. Water flows. Leaves become slides and roots become dams as the forest floor floods. A mother's shelter, the eagle spreads her wings, a living umbrella for her chicks. Shaking it off, she keeps them dry, a fortress of feathers against the storm. Stoic endurance. A dove sits soaked on her nest, waiting for the rain to pass. The earth drinks, streams form on the moss, flowing into every crevice. Rising waters. A family of rodents watches their home become a trap. Evacuation. Panic sets in as the burrow floods, forcing them into the storm. A mother's burden. Swimming through the flood, she carries her hairless young to safety. A moment of care. She grooms her shivering baby, providing warmth in the cold rain. Moving on, she picks up the child again, scurrying to higher ground. The struggle is real. Sliding on the mud, she fights gravity to save her lineage. Safe at last. Huddled under a leaf, the family waits out the deluge together. wet fur and whiskers. The rain beads on their coats, a testament to the storm. Emergence. The saturated soil forces giants to the surface. Earthworms appear. A writhing mass, seeking higher ground, the worms cluster on a wet log. Vulnerable and exposed. The rain washes over them, sluggish in the cold. Elegance arrives. A peacock walks through the mud, a splash of color in the gray. Opportunity spotted. A tilt of the head, and the bird sees the feast. The peck. A worm is pulled from the cluster, becoming a meal. Feasting in the rain. Nature wastes nothing, turning the flood into food. Mudbar. Peccary wallow in the puddles, enjoying the cool relief. Playful splashes. They fight and roll, oblivious to the world around them. Struggling steps. A piglet fights the thick mud, following its mother. A predator slides in. The caiman leaves the river for the wallow. Watching and waiting, just an eye above the mud, calculating the strike. Unaware, the pigs root nearby, dangerously close to the hidden thief. Lunge. The mud explodes as jaws snap, but the pig is faster today. Panic and escape. The herd scatters, leaving the caiman hungry in the muck. Watching from above, the anaconda sees it all, a silent observer in the trees. Busy workers. Termites swarm their mound, frantically repairing the rain damage. Soldiers on guard, mandibles ready. They defend the colony against the elements. A golden hunter, the tegu lizard, emerges, scales glistening in the forest light. Sensing the snack, the forked tongue tastes the air, leading him to the mound. Breaking in, powerful claws tear at the mud walls, opening the fortress. Feeding frenzy. The lizard laps up the termites, ignoring their defenses. Swarmed, the soldiers attack his face, but his hunger is too great. Shaking them off, he continues to eat, undeterred by the tiny bites. Destruction. A chunk of the hive is pulled out, raining insects on the floor. Moving on, full and satisfied, the lizard leaves the chaos behind. Repairs begin. The colony immediately starts to seal the breach. A scuttling traveler. The red land crab navigates the wet roots. Claws and eyes. Alien features, exploring the mossy world. Vertical climb. Sharp legs grip the bark as the crab ascends the tree. High, above. A climber in the canopy, far from the swamp floor. Target acquired. The crab spots a nest with eggs, a prize worth the climb. Defense. The mother bird dives, attacking the armored intruder to save her young. Standoff. Claws snap at feathers in a high-stakes battle on the branch. The grab. Ignoring the attacks, the crab reaches in and seizes an egg. Desperate measures. The bird attacks the eyes, and the egg is dropped. Gravity wins. The egg falls, smashing on the roots below. Retreat. Defeated by the mother's fury, the crab backs down. Migration. A troop of crabs moves across the forest floor in unison. The army marches over roots and leaves. The red tide advances. A monkey descends. From the trees comes a new threat to the crabs. Pounce. The monkey grabs a crab, dodging the snapping pincers. Skillful hands. He flips it over, exposing the soft belly. Tool user. Smashing the shell with a rock, he cracks the armor. Feast. He pulls apart the shell, enjoying the fresh meat. Back off. He guards his meal from a hopeful thief. Rain returns. Licking his fingers, he feels the first drops fall. Escape. He climbs the vine, seeking shelter from the shower. Misty canopy. The red-faced monkeys huddle high in the wet trees. Miserable wetness. A shake of the fur sends water flying. Social grooming. Bonding keeps them warm and clean in the shelter. A slip. The wet bark is treacherous and a young one dangles. Recovery. He scrambles back, looking down at the deadly drop below. Sunbeams break through. The rain stops and light returns to the river. Upside down world. The pink dolphin swims, inverted, along the riverbed. Clicking through the dark, echolocation guides him where eyes cannot see. Submerged agility. He weaves through the drowned forest with ease. The chase. A burst of speed to catch the darting fish. Gotcha. The beak snaps shut, clouding the water with sand. Rising up, with a full belly, he heads for the surface. A breath of air, the blowhole sprays as he breaks the calm surface. Diving down, the tail waves goodbye as he returns to the depths. Silent, swimmer. The electric eel moves slowly through the murk. Sensing pits. The eel's face is a map of sensors, reading the water. Unaware prey. A shrimp walks the sand, blind to the danger. Shock. A blue arc of energy stuns the prey instantly. Inhaled. The twitching shrimp is sucked into the eel's mouth. Predator. Above. A caiman cruises the upper waters, backlit by the sun. Snap. Another fish meets its end in the jaws of the reptile. Swallowed whole. The caiman feeds, then turns its attention downwards. Descending, it dives towards the riverbed, seeking larger prey. Confrontation. Reptile meets eel in the tangled roots. High voltage. The bite triggers a massive shock, boiling the water with energy. Spasm. The caiman thrashes uncontrollably, forced to release its grip. Escape. The eel flees into the darkness, leaving the stunned predator behind. Paralyzed, the caiman sinks, belly up, helpless on the sand. Recovery. Slowly, life returns to its limbs, and it rights itself. Falling out, groggy and coughing, it drags itself onto the mud. Exhausted, it lies vulnerable on the bank, recovering from the shock. A shadow approaches. The anaconda slithers up behind the weakened caiman. Tongue flick. The snake senses the vulnerability of its rival. Strike. The snake wraps its coils around the caiman before it can react. Overwhelmed, the caiman's jaws are useless against the crushing constriction. Tightening, mud splashes as the life is squeezed out of the reptile. Fading struggle. The forest shadows lengthen as the battle ends. Lights out. The caiman's eye blinks slowly one last time. Inspection. The snake uncoils slightly, preparing to swallow its massive meal. Another hunter, the golden tegu, walks with aggression, hunting for trouble. Face off, the lizard puffs up, challenging a medium-sized anaconda. Bite and strike. The lizard attacks the tail, and the snake whips around. Wrapped up, the snake coils around the lizard, but claws fight back. Endurance. Teeth against coils in a battle of wills on the jungle floor. Rolling free, the lizard uses its claws to pry the snake loose. Retreat. The snake decides it's not worth the fight and slithers away. Catching breath, the victor pants heavily, recovering from the brawl. Walking fish. A catfish drags itself across the mud, seeking new water. Sensing the way, whiskers feel the mud, guiding the fish over land. Gathering quick, the water churns as catfish congregate in the shallow. Turf war. Mouths lock as the fish fight for dominance in the shrinking pool. Release. One swims away, leaving a cloud of sediment in its wake. Peaceful frog. Sitting on a lily pad, bathed in the golden sunset. Explosion from below. The catfish breaches, swallowing frog and leaf in an instant. Into the depths, the predator returns to the dark with its prize. Scavenging. Life and death recycle on the river bottom. Thrashing mud. The fight continues as space runs out in the pool. Gasping for air. A quick breath at the surface before diving again. Flight. Small fish jump in unison, escaping the monsters below. Croaking toad, throat expanding, it calls out into the evening. Rainy serenade, the cane toad sits stoically as dusk falls. Strike from above. A heron grabs the toad, ending its song abruptly. The queen returns. The jaguar walks the riverbank, bathed in golden light. A mighty yawn, she sits, watching her domain as the day ends. Silhouette, the panther walks the high branch against the purple sky. Bedtime, climb. The bear finds a tree to rest for the night. Coiled sleep, the anaconda rests, a spiral of scales on the forest floor. Nightlights, fireflies awaken, dancing in the dark undergrowth. Moonlight River, the Amazon winds through the darkness, endless and wild. Glowing eyes, in the pitch black, the jaguar blinks, ever watching. Amazon, the green canopy stretches forever under the midday sun. Affection, two macaws preen each other, a splash of blue and yellow. Misty Mountains, the cloud forest rolls over the hills, mysterious and vast. River Snake, the water winds through the jungle, reflecting the sunset. Flight of color, a scarlet macaw glides in slow motion against the green. Hidden Falls, a thin waterfall drops into a misty pool, a secret jewel. Vibrant pair, red and green macaws, share a branch and a moment. Confident walker, the jaguar patrols the sandy bank of the brown river. Ancient birds, the hoatzins perch, looking like relics from another time. Top down, a canoe cuts through the dark water of a jungle stream. Winding path, the boat navigates the twists and turns of the creek. Pink in the dark. Flamingos wade in a shaded pool, bright against the gloom. Intense gaze. The macaw looks back, its eye holding a world of detail. Lazy smile. The sloth hangs high, moss growing on its slow-moving fur. Preening wings. The stinkbirds groom, displaying their russet feathers. Intricate patterns. Nature's design is visible in every feather. Yellow giant. An emergent tree bursts with color above the misty green. Orbiting glory. The drone circles the flowering giant, a beacon in the forest. Nutcracker. The macaw holds its meal, beak ready to crack the shell. Golden hunter. A beater holds a dragonfly, backlit by the sun. River journey. The canoe continues its silent voyage through the green corridor. Family ride. A baby capuchin clings to its mother's back on the log. Expressive face. The monkey looks around, alert and intelligent. Heavy walker. The bear trudges through the mud, coat wet and matted. Playful chase. Cubs run around the log, energy boundless. Curious entry. One cub explores the hollow log while the other watches. Sniffing out, the bear investigates the rotting wood, claws ready. Ripping it open, wood flies as the bear searches for insects. Licking lips, he eats the grubs, savoring the easy meal. Inside view. The cubs see the silhouette of the bear at the entrance. Turning away, the bear leaves, unaware of the eyes watching him. Ambush. The jaguar strikes the caiman. water freezing in the air. Meeting on the path, bear and cat freeze, sizing each other up. Roaring height, the bear stands tall, a towering threat. Swipe and skirmish, a flurry of paws and claws in the mud. Backing down, the jaguar leaves, letting the bear claim the path. Majestic eagle, the harpy sits in the rain, king of the canopy. Hornbill, detail, rain drips from the casque of this exotic bird. Mustached monkey, the emperor tamarin looks on with curiosity. Agile, jump, the white-faced capuchin leaps against the sky. Tributary travel, a small canoe navigates the winding river. Birds on a wire, swallows line up on a dead branch over the water. Endless green, the canopy stretches to the horizon under the clouds. Verdant creek, moving through the lush, rocky stream bed. Mountain mist, the river winds towards the hills in the morning light. The bending river, forever flowing through the heart of the Amazon.